it's Pip Mackay here, and it's day 34 of my 40-day quest to write my book. So only 6 days to go. And what I decided to do was start writing about the Emperor. And so I've got my friend Chris here, and Chris is also my massage therapist and Leela's associate as well. He does personal training too. And I thought it would be really great to get a young man's perspective on, you know, the mature masculine, or the father figure, the universal father figure, which is what the ruler really is. So, so I just wanted to start off by asking Chris, you know, what was your dad like?
So young, good father. He was always financially supportive of the family. I remember like playing baseball with him, all the stereotypical things. But then as we got older and divorces happened, not between him and myself, but parents, then it wasn't so much of like a fatherly figure. He was still financially supportive, but it wasn't a relationship that I could go ask for fatherly advice or life advice, and still to this day don't. I still talk with him, and it's a fine, it's an amiable relationship. There's not hostility between either of us, but it's not a relationship that, again, I would seek out my father for advice and life advice and affirmations and things of that nature.
And I think this is very much what the male perspective is on the father figure, wanting to have somebody who's been there, done that, and you know, you can seek advice from and maybe step into more of a mentoring role.
Exactly, mentoring, like helping just to guide, not to, you know, strictly deal with your child and steer them in whatever direction you see fit, but to help them in their own kind of, I guess, evolution even, and provide, like you said, that mentorship advice and yeah.
So I think what a lot of us are doing in order to seek that kind of mentoring is to be reading books. And Chris was just telling me before about a great book that he was reading about leadership within the corporate sector, and what makes a leader or successful leader in the corporate sector. And I thought it was really interesting. So I thought I'd ask Chris just to share that with us. What was the book called?
So it's called Good to Great by Jim Collins, and any business owner has probably, it's one of those kind of top reads if you're a small business owner. And one of the big things, they looked at thousands of companies and really broke it down. I don't remember how many, I think 11. And they started looking at those CEOs from those specific 11 companies and how those CEOs differed from other companies that weren't as financially successful. And one of the things they established was what they called level 5 leadership. And one of the big factors that distinguished these CEOs from others is that they weren't necessarily like egotistically driven, whereas most CEOs develop a company to further their own CEO status and their billionaire paychecks, etc. And so these CEOs that they distinguished as level 5, they showed primarily that they weren't egocentrically driven, and that they were driven to better the company and to better the company for all those employees, rather than just continuing to build up their status as the ego alpha male, I can do whatever I want with this company, etc. kind of thing. And building more of an environment that was supportive for all those around them, and again, not specifically just bettering themselves.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I think this is what we look for from that responsible masculine maturity is somebody who is, you know, supportive and who is responsible towards others and helping them grow, and to create a stability and a structure that allows those people to thrive in, and to have someone who's a mentor who people can look up to and truly respect.
Yeah, so where there's still that kind of masculine alpha male, but it's not the alpha male in terms of like subjugation, that it's alpha male in terms of you can help me along the way and provide advice and again further growth, rather than you're the alpha male because I'm afraid and you're just dominating.
Yeah, and I think this is very much what has happened to the ruler archetype or the emperor archetype in shadow. It's become part of a patriarchy where people feel dominated by them and their structures rather than supported for growth. And I think this affects both men and women. For men, it means that there's not a leader that we look up to in order to model. And for women, I think there's a sense that there isn't somebody to rely on. What do you think in terms of what difference do you feel it might have made for you if you'd had like a kind of a masculine mentor? What do you feel?
Well, even still, like I'm 30 and I could still use some type of male mentor just to ask for financial advice, home buying advice, whatever the case may be. But then growing up, 19, 20, 21, 22, you're going through a lot of transitions. And to just have a father figure of some sort that if you needed to seek out advice or questions or just kind of maybe even just a kick in the ass kind of thing, that somebody would be there for that. And I managed all right. But yeah, I think it's probably lacking in a lot of people. And like you said, I don't think there's a lot of really great examples of, I guess you term them rulers or really well father figures in a sense, where they have the full spectrum of being a great father and being able to be emotionally caring, but still be able to financially support and still being able to kind of the alpha male. It's a tough one.
Yeah, well, I think it is. And I think what's happening is that a lot of women are then stepping up into that role. And, they feel that they need to step into their masculine energy in order to support the family. And then there's kind of then an unbalance. That doesn't mean that women have to always be feminine and that men always have to be masculine. That's not what it's about. It's just about people feeling that they can find a balance. And I think for men to feel that they understand how they can step into that masculine role in a way that is, as Chris said, caring and responsible. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks so much, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll speak with
Absolutely.
you soon.